U.S. preparing on attack on Iran. Saturday, U.S. to hold a direct talk with Iran. Now, Trump wants to reimpose crippling sanctions on Iran. Now, please, you guys, subscribe to this channel. Share this video. Hit that like button. Now, America is telling Iran all hell will break out if Iran won't give up their facilities, their nukes. America wants to do an inspection on Iran. America wants diplomacy on Iran. America wants to take Iran's nuclears. Now, looking at all this, we are about 2 years behind because there's a buildup that's coming. When there's a war that's in the making. So America needs to support Tehran. So as of right now, the United States won't win this war. So in other words, they will have to throw in the towel. See, if China step in at some point, with China being the X factor, America is behind, because when it comes to China military, they have, compared to America militaries and nuclears and weapons, makes America's weapons looks like child's play. We cannot fight a war when America is bullying on Iran. Trump is threatened because they want to take over Gaza. Iran, when it comes to Iran will have to give up their facilities, their nuclears. When Trump wants to impose and crippling sanctions on Iran, this tells me all hell will break out. Because at some point, America wants to do the inspection on Iran. And I want to say diplomacies won't work. Because when you're in a cahoots, and America had been at a war with Iran for 40 years, none of this stuff won't even happen. So let's roll this video clip. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Iran. Listen to what White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said about that.
When it it comes to Iran, the president has reimposed crippling sanctions on the Iranian regime, and he's made it very clear to Iran they have a choice to make. You can strike a deal with the president, you can negotiate, or there will be hell to pay. And as the president said yesterday, if they don't choose...
You see that? Or else there will be hell to play. You know, America is starting to bully her way. She's starting to bully her way. You know, they want all access in the territory of Iran. Don't y'all see this buildup? Don't y'all see that she wants to go in Iran, do the inspection. She want to take their weapons, their nukes. Basically, stripping Iran so that they can not be able to go to war.
To move forward with diplomacy and a deal, which is the direction we do see them headed in, there will be grave consequences.
Grave consequences, okay. Retired four-star General Jack Keane joining me again here in New York City. Are we on the brink of an attack on Iran? I raised the question.
Let me tell y'all something. We are 2 years behind on schedule here. America will have to get with Tehran. If they would have support Tehran, it would have built up so that way we won't have to look, you know what I mean, to be 2 years behind. See, this is what's going on. We 2 years behind because when it comes to this war, America doesn't have enough militant, doesn't have enough military when it compares to China. When China brings out her military, I always say, makes American military look like child's play. She don't even have enough weapons to go out. So this is humiliating to even, you know what I mean, take a pose. Don't y'all see this build up?
Question, because we reported yesterday there are 6 B-2 bombers that have been assembled in Diego Garcia. They carry the bunker-busting bombs that you and I have talked about a lot. Are we getting ready for an attack?
Yeah, I mean, we're absolutely making preparations. I think what the president is very sincere here in trying to get the Iranians to voluntarily dismantle the program. So he's issued them an ultimatum. And what does that really mean? It means the Iranians would have to give up all of their nuclear materials.
America won't to dismantle Iran's territory, man. Mean that they're allowed to come in to gain all access to run, you know what I mean, an inspection on Iran, to gain access to take all their weapons, their nukes from them, when they've been at a war for over decades. So I don't think when it comes to America want a diplomacy on Iran to solve their difference, you know what I mean, to make some kind of peace agreement. I don't think this will come.
They'd have to dismantle their facilities that they have, and some of them are 250 feet in the ground with 3 feet walls. And they're also their ballistic missiles as the delivery system. But here's the big catch. We want anywhere, anytime inspections. The Iranians in their entire history have never granted that. They let you go to a certain sites, and meanwhile, they have secret sites where they continue their program. It's likely they're not going to put that on the table, and we're going to have to insist on it. And then the last thing is by a date certain. So the alternative then, if they don't comply with this, is a strike. So yes, preparations are being made for that. It would likely be an Israeli-led, U.S.-supported strike. The Israelis have great skepticism about the Iranians voluntarily dismantling the program. So does President Trump, but he wants to give it a try. And I think on Saturday was...
I want to say, with the stakes being high, you know what Trump wants to communicate, reach for a peace agreement, get the diplomacy, done on Iran. The thing of it is, you guys, Iran is not going to allow America to invade their territory. That's not going to happen. All this preparation and all this buildup is coming for the big stage. This is why I tell you guys, America, they cannot push a war, because they cannot war because of us being 2 years behind. We actually 2 years behind. And this is why the country can ill afford to escalate World War III.
Start to get a sense of, are they really serious about this? Or are they kind of behaving like Putin is behaving? Who's delaying, and wants more concessions. The Iranians do want relief from sanctions.
And we've got leverage.
We had
More leverage than we've ever had before.
more leverage in 44 years. Iran is back on their heels. We have an opportunity to finish.
You see, over 44 years, they've been in a battle with Iran in the U.S. America won't. I'll tell you what America wants. These stations, really don't even work on Iran. So, man, when it comes to this war issue, we cannot go to war.
Punish these guys once and for all for their malign and aggressive behavior and destabilizing the Middle East. That's how far back on their heels they are. We have the leverage.
It's fascinating. All right, next one for you, Joe. The Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, he sounded the alarm on China's growing military. He called the build-up of their armed forces staggering. Do you think that we in America are a little naive about China's military power?
Well, I think the previous administration tried to pretend that we still had deterrence. I mean, I totally agree with the Secretary General. I was on a commission for 22 months that looked at this. Our conclusion simply when we published our report last year that China, Russia, Iran, North Korea represent the most serious and dangerous threat to the United States since World War II. And obviously the major competitor is China. They outpace us, Stuart, in just about every platform there is except submarines. That's the reality. That's the reality.
Rocketry and missiles.
Yeah, you name it, they outpace us, and we're not even close to being able
When
to
you say
catch up.
outpace us, I mean,
They
are
have
their
more of
weapons
them.
better or there are more of them?
They have more of them, and they've caught us in quality in just about.
You see what he's saying is right. He's saying he's absolutely right. They caught us. He's saying they passed us up with all the quality they have, all the nuclears, the militant, because America was, this was the biggest problem America had. America wasn't able to support Tehran. It's like, for example, China, care for a population. And India does not care for a population. So that reminds me, America does not care about her population. Because if she cares about her next door neighbors, her allies, and if she came to support Taiwan, we wouldn't be in this situation. So we are totally behind. Regarding, war, combat, nuclears, artilleries, all these accessories. See, we don't have things like China has.
Most of all of it. It is a staggering military buildup. But here's what we have to do, and we can do this: strengthen Taiwan so that they impose costs themselves, and build up the United States military capability with our allies and partners in the region, and use some imagination. The Ukraine war showed us that Ukraine defeated the Russian Navy in the Black Sea, and they don't have a Navy. How did they do it? They did it with drones and missiles and imagination. Warfare has changed. These big ships are very vulnerable to missiles. Autonomous vehicles above the sea, autonomous vehicles below the sea, not a few hundred of them, thousands of them.
Let me tell you, man, this man is nailing it to the point. You know what I mean? War has changed. He's absolutely right. War has changed. There's more China's militants. The war is different. And China is advanced in their military equipments that they have. Because she cares about her population. America doesn't care about her population. She don't care about her allies. So this is why we are in this, situation. And the situation just going to escalate and get worse.
Make a difference, and we can do that quickly.
But are we behind in that area?
Yes.
At this moment, we are behind.
Oh, yeah,
Autonomous
absolutely.
vehicles above and underneath
Yes,
the sea.
we're absolutely behind. Behind what our capability is.
How long does it take to catch up?
You see what I'm saying, you guys? We are totally behind. And how long, look, the question he's going to ask, how long it's going to take for us to catch up? It's going to literally take 2 years. It's going to literally take 2 years for us to catch up. But by then, when things start to escalate, hit the fan, this is when America's in trouble.
We can do this in a couple of years with those kind of vehicles. About 4 or 5 years for the total program.
Do you think
But
we
have
got
to do
time?
it.
Do you think we got a couple of years?
Well, here's what President Xi is. We have to go along with what he says. He told his forces to be ready to take Taiwan by force in 27. So that doesn't mean he's going to pull the trigger. What Xi really wants, he wants to dominate us so much militarily that Taiwan knows that the United States likely can't win this war. So they would capitulate, and then would the United States come to their assistance? Well, if you're going to recognize...
Let me tell you this, man, before I end this, man. If America would have treated her allies and care about her allies, we wouldn't be talking about this. We wouldn't be in this, position. If she came to the assistance of Taiwan, we wouldn't have to wait 2 years. So this is a build-up, man. And we can't even go on the front line to even put ourselves to prepare, to have preparation to go into a World War III. So this is my take. This is my saying to you guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Please like the channel. And please share the video. We out.